Okay, hello everyone. I know it's late, but it's that time again to call out Spectrum News NY1 because yet again they just blow off the crime and they blew off yet again another big news story. And this time it happened in Flushing when there was an officer involved shooting right by where my mom works. So, yeah, insult to injury. I know. It's become like News 12 Long Island. That's how alarming this TV station is, and I really wish the Warner Brothers would come back. Because the Warner Brothers at least cared about their news department. Okay, when they had Time Warner Cable, they at least cared. They at least cared. Spectrum, you guys suck. Okay, bottom line, Charter should just stay in Florida. They're an awful group. I mean, everything's fine for their main market in Tampa, but no, they could just care less about New York City. They could just care less. And at least, I'm happy about this news regarding the sports betting, but what about the officer involved shooting in Flushing? No, nothing about it. Nothing about it. I am so sick of this TV station thinking that they can just blow off the crime. They should have at least sent a reporter over to Flushing. No, didn't want to bother with that. In fact, even the Queen's Courier didn't even cover it. Which is a surprise, but, go to the public safety. No, nothing about it. Nothing about it. Who cares about George Mason? This TV station has just become a joke. You go to Queens. See, anything about it? Nothing about it. Nothing about it. So thankfully there is an article from the New York Post regarding it. So here we go. Officer involved shooting in Queens. Off-duty cop opened fire during a fight at a karaoke bar. Okay, so here we go. An off-duty NYPD sergeant opened fire at a Queens karaoke bar early on Monday morning, November 8th. As he scuffed with three men who beat him up for demanding that they tip the barmaids. The Baroka broke up before 5 a.m. at the Via KTV karaoke bar on Prince Street in Flushing, when somebody told the officer, a regular at the establishment, that the men weren't tipping women who worked there. The sergeant, identified by sources as 45-year-old Raymond Wong, told the threesome to cough up some cash. But they grew irate and began beating up the off-duty police officer, prompting him to pull his pistol and fire at least 3 times, the sources said. Nobody was injured in the gunfire, according to the sources. The 3 men, 2 38-year-olds and a 37-year-old, were arrested, the sources said. Charges against them were pending. Wong was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. He was arrested Monday night and charged with 2 counts of assault. He was also suspended without pay pending a department trial. An NYPD spokesperson said the incident was under internal review, but provided no details. So, there you go. NY1 completely just blowing off another big news story, and, the other stations covered it, but no. What else is there to say about this TV station? What else is there to say? And then there were a couple robberies that have been happening that I don't know what it is. There's been a robbery pattern here in Queens that NY1's been ignoring as well. So let's get to these 3 stories that are on the Queens Courier page. So here's the first incident that happened in Hollis. So let's read this one. Police from the 103rd Precinct in Jamaica are looking for a suspect who allegedly stabbed a motorist in Hollis back in October. Just before midnight on Wednesday, October 6th, at the intersection of 90th Avenue and 198th Street, a 34-year-old man was cleaning out the back seat of his car when an unknown assailant came up from behind the victim and shoved him. The suspect then stabbed the man in the right side of the abdomen and then at the victim's property. The assailant then fled the scene empty-handed, running westbound on Hillside Avenue. EMS responded to the scene and transported the victim to Northwell Health Long Island Jewish Medical Center in stable condition. Okay, so we do have a surveillance image. Oh, a video of it, okay. NYPD has released surveillance video. They're looking for a dark-skinned man, approximately 25, 30 years old with a thin build. He was last seen wearing a dark-colored baseball hat, multicolored shirt, black pants, and white sneakers. So, second robbery incident. Please tell me this did not happen at 179th Street. Looks just like it. Yep. Police from the 107 Precinct in Fresh Meadows are looking for a man who robbed a strap hanger at Jamaica Estates on Tuesday afternoon, November 2nd. Authorities say that just before 2:30 p.m. on the mezzanine of the 179th Street F-Line subway station along Hillside Avenue, the suspect approached a 41-year-old woman as she was attempting to add money to her Metro card. The man snatched $10 and the Metro card out of the woman's head and fled the station on foot. Police said, adding that no injuries were reported as a result of the incident. The suspect, described as a light-skinned man, is approximately 40 to 50 years old, stands around 6 feet tall, and weighs approximately 200 pounds. So there is a surveillance. This is not a good surveillance picture. And my goodness, I'm supposed to go there on Sunday to reload my Metro card. You just cannot make this stuff up. And in broad daylight. Man, Eric Adams, I'm telling you right now, you are going to be held responsible for letting this crime spree get out of worse if you don't do something about it. Because you're going to be the mayor in January. Alright, and then here's the third thing. So, yeah, I think I heard about this on 1010 Wins a couple days ago. Police from the 110 Precinct in Elmhurst in Transit District 20 are looking for a man who roughed up a commuter at the Jackson Heights Roosevelt Avenue 74th Street station. Oh, so this explains why I saw Transit District 20 at Jackson Heights yesterday. That explains it. They were patrolling the 7 train platform on the westbound side. Okay, let's read this. At around 4 p.m. on November 4th, on the mezzanine level to the E line, surveillance video captured the suspect as he lunged at a 68-year-old man who then forcibly removed an undetermined amount of cash out of his hand before knocking the victim to the ground. The assailant then fled the station to parts unknown. The victim was not injured in the attack and refused medical attention. The NYPD released images of the suspect, so we have video of it. Let's play it. Described as 30 years old, with a light complexion, thin-build hair. He was last seen wearing... Oh, thin-build and facial hair. Okay, he was last seen wearing a Champion hoodie, gray sweatpants, and white sneakers. So, there you have it, folks. There you have it. 4 major incidents that have happened in Queens. And New York one has just completely blown us off. You know, I'm sick and tired of it. You know, and then there was another incident that happened in Jamaica. Oh, look at this. Another incident. I'll read that one. But I wanted to look for the one in Jamaica. Bike robbery. Yeah, here we go. This is the one in Jamaica. NYPD has released a slew of surveillance images of a group of a nearly dozen young men who allegedly chased a 23-year-old Jamaican man before gunning him down in broad daylight. The fatal shooting just occurred before 3 p.m. on October 19th as the gang ran Joe Cobbs at 204th Street for several blocks before one of them pulled out a handgun, striking the victim once in the head. The group of men then fled the crime scene on foot in several different directions. Police from the 103rd Precinct in Jamaica responded to a 911 call of an assault in front of a hair salon at 89-32 163rd Street and discovered Cobbs lying unconscious and unresponsive on the sidewalk with a gunshot wound to the head. Sadly, the victim was taken to New York City Health Hospital Jamaica Center, where he was pronounced dead. Homicide detectives are searching for a group of 11 men between the ages of 20 to 30. The gunman is believed to have worn all black clothing. No arrest and investigations ongoing, so. And then I want to read this one. So I know I read the Jackson Heights one a while back. Not this one. Man injures a 13-year-old teenager while stealing his bike in Jackson Heights. Okay, so it happened on Halloween weekend, 4 p.m. on October 30th. The boy was standing at the corner of 79th Street and Northern Boulevard. Yep, this is Jackson Heights. And holding onto his bike when he was approached by a man who pulled out a knife and forcibly took the bike from the youngster. The assailant took off on the boy's white and pink bike northbound 79th Street toward 32nd Avenue. The boy sustained a minor scratch on his right arm during the robbery but refused medical attention. The value of the bike is $600. Okay, so here we go. Suspect was last seen wearing a dark hoodie with black pants and white sneakers. It appears that this could be a brown-skinned individual, but again, too hard to tell by the video. And then I'll just get to the last one. Creep snaps upskirt photos of E-Train rider in Long Island City. Police from the 114th Precinct in Astoria and Transit District 20 are looking for a man who allegedly used his cell phone to take upskirt photos on a northbound E-Train back on October 16th. The incident occurred just before 1 o'clock in the morning aboard a northbound E-Train when the suspect used his cell phone to record a 26-year-old woman's skirt as she stood next to him. The victim felt the phone brush against her rear end and turned to confront the man, who denied any wrongdoing and stepped off the train at the 36th Street station in Long Island City. The suspect then fled the scene on foot. So they're looking for a man between 40 to 60, last seen wearing a blue mask, a red shirt, blue jeans, and black shoes. So, of course, ongoing investigation, no arrest. So, at least we have a video. Okay, so I want to see if we have any update, because there was another shooting in the Bronx. Oh, man, I'm telling you. So many shootings have been happening in the Bronx that NY1 just keeps completely blowing off. But there was another one that happened tonight. Let's see. There was another one tonight, but I don't know where I could find it. Let me check Twitter. And I'll just see if I can see if anything got picked up in the scanner. Channel 7 did cover it tonight. Shannon Stone was flying over it. Let's see. Look at that. So many shootings happening tonight that NY1 just completely keeps blowing off. Oh, look at this. Stabbing in the Bronx. 789 Astor Avenue. This is why I'm so glad we have the NYC 911 Twitter feed, because they compile a list of the incidents that are heard on the police scanners. That's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for... Oh, look at this. Felony assault in Staten Island. Confirmed assault of an officer. Battle used as a weapon. Suspect is a male black wearing all black, gold writing on the sweatshirt. Fled on foot on Jersey Street. So I'm not looking for that. Oh, look at this. Shooting in Long Island City. That's definitely Long Island City. I could tell by the address. I'm not looking for that. Yeah, here we go. Daya Avenue. This is the one that Shannon Stone was covering. Okay, so I'm going to read one more story, and this is kind of urgent that I have to read this one. So if you don't remember, there was a stabbing in Harlem that left a 14-year-old boy as he was fleeing on a bus. Good news is there appears to be a juvenile suspect who has been arrested. So let's read this. Cops cuffed a 16-year-old boy, and I do apologize. I'm going to see if I can... Yeah, there we go. A 16-year-old boy on Monday, November 8th, accused of opening fire on another teenager as he boarded a city bus in Harlem October 14th. The youngster, whose identity was being withheld due to his age, faces attempted murder charges, assault, and criminal possession of a weapon for his alleged role in the October 14th attack on the NY1 bus. So, this is a big sigh of relief. Very big sigh of relief. And, Eric Adams has been talking about, youth community involvement. Well, I hope Eric Adams keeps his campaign promise, because he had mentioned that during his campaign. So there you go. Once again, NY1 just ignoring our issues with the crime. And, what makes NY1 a joke of a TV station is right now I'm watching them on mute, and I don't need to be watching Inside City Hall right now. I really don't. It's 11 o'clock, and Inside City Hall is on. I'm like, really? You can air it during the overnight. Not during 11 o'clock. So, that's it. And I'm going to be doing a separate video in the future. Maybe tomorrow or next couple of days. I'm going to talk about how NY1 covers the weather. Because it's a very interesting video that I wanted to do for a while. And, it's just something very interesting that I want to discuss. And I'm going to compare it to how the weather forecast is done in another station that I watch here in New York and another station that I watch in Delmarva. So, that's it. In NY1, again, I'm going to keep calling you out until you start actually covering the crime. Just like how Pine Power is going to keep the battle in Long Island with News 12, I'm going to keep my battle up with NY1 here in the city. Because we matter in the 5 boroughs. Start covering the crime, NY1. Thank you for watching.